Hi everyone, Sarah Tatum here. I hope you are well. So I wanted to do a short video today just on SugarCRM mobile app. As you can see, I'm using an iPhone device, but the mobile app is also available for Android. In order to use this, you do need to be a user of SugarCRM. So I'm going to start by opening my SugarCRM app, as you can see on the bottom left of my screen. If you're not already logged in, then you will need to put your username and your password in, which is exactly the same as entering it on the desktop version. So the first thing we see when we log in is anything that we've recently viewed. So as you can see, I'm looking at accounts, meetings, leads, anything that I've just simply looked at, whether that was on the mobile app or the desktop app. But what I want to do today is actually use the mobile app as though I'm a salesperson on the road. So I have a meeting, I do the meeting, I add a note, and then I add my next action. So we can do this by using our dashboards. So any meetings and calls that you've got scheduled will appear on your dashboard if you've got your dashboard set up. So at the top left hand side, you'll see three bars. So I'm going to click that. This is essentially my dashboards and my modules in Sugar. So as you can see at the top here, I've got three dashboards: sales, activity, and customers. Let's have a quick look at the sales one, just so we can see where sales are today. They appear as tiles to begin with, so you can have a look and select which one you want to have a look at. So in this case, I just want to have a look at open opportunities by type, which is the one on the right hand side at the top. So I'm going to click into that, and as you'll see, I've got a line chart here showing me all my open opportunities by type, i.e. is it existing business or new business, and how much it is. If I want to have a look at the other dashlets, down at the bottom you'll see two left and right arrows, so I can just click on it and scroll through. So I can see, for example, Sally's got 10 opportunities that have no activity related against them, if you want to report and things like that. And then you've got your pipeline and so on. So you just keep scrolling through them and you'll see exactly the same dashlets that you have on your desktop version. But we're going to go to the activity one, because this is where I look or I go to see what am I doing today. So the first one here, my planned activities, you can see here today, meetings and calls, and of course all of those that you haven't done will still appear here until you've done them or updated them. So I'm just going to scroll to the bottom here because I have got one scheduled in for today. So at the bottom here we've got demo, which is a meeting that I'm doing today. Let's assume that I've done the meeting and I want to add in my notes and then add my next activity. So I'll go into demo. I can see the meeting starts today, 26th of September at 2 o'clock. It's scheduled, it's going to be an hour, and it's with the company called XYZ Funding. If I click onto the company just a second here, so I now get the information about XYZ Funding. You'll see here the emoji field. If you've been following my articles, you'll see I wrote an article about how to add emoji fields into Sugar. But let's just say we want to check where they are on the map and we want to get directions. You've got icons at the top here for call, email, map, and SMS. If I hit the map one, what then happens is it opens up the maps on my phone. I can go ahead and select driving directions, 2 hours 50 minutes from where I am, and it will go ahead and navigate me, and then I can use that obviously to get there. So let me just go back to the app, and we're going to go back to the meeting. Here we are. So we've done the meeting. So what I need to do is go ahead, edit this. As you can see, I've got the start date, the end date. It's a scheduled meeting, so I'm going to change that from scheduled to held. I'm then going to go ahead and adding my notes or actions or anything that I want to put in against that meeting for what I've done. I can do this of two ways. I can go ahead and type the notes manually, or if I want to use the technology built in on the iPhone, I can simply go ahead, press the microphone icon, and it will dictate what I'm saying to it. So my next steps for this is to send over a quote for the company. Send over the email following up the product that we discussed, and send over the relevant data sheets. There you go. All my meeting notes are there. Hit done, hit save. And then I have a saved meeting against XYZ Funding, so we can now see when we look at XYZ Funding, all of the related meetings. You will then see the demo that I've done today, and all of my notes are going to be in there. That's all updated real time, so it'll all be available on the desktop app. and all of my colleagues or anybody that's got the permissions to see my information will see that update. So that was a really quick one. So my next steps for this was to send over a quote. So I might want to send the quote next week, or I might want to send it today. Let's just assume that I need to send over the quote next week. So what I might do is go ahead and schedule a task for myself. So the tasks one being the third icon down, I'm going to go ahead and create a task. The task in this case is send quote. Oh, if I can spell. Send quote. What's the priority of this task? In this case, it's medium. It's not high. When do I want to do it? Start date, I actually need to do it in a week. So in a week's time, it's probably going to be around about the 2nd of October. When's it due by? I said I'd have the quote to her by the 5th of October. Hit done. Description, send quote, meeting. That's just a simple reminder for me. So when I save that now, and I go back to my home page, under my activity, and I've got my active tasks. At the moment, obviously, it's not in there because it's not under due now, but upcoming, that quote will be in here as what I need to do. But on the day that it's due, or a couple of days before it's due, it will appear in my upcoming and in my to-dos. So that's going to be my reminder to send a quote. So I hope this has been useful. So it's just giving you an idea of how you can update meetings, see what meetings you've got today, and the same for calls. So if we just go back to the activity, my planned activities, and then obviously you can go ahead and see what calls you've got as well. And you can go ahead and do those calls from the mobile app and update them just like we did with meetings. And then how to do your next action, which will appear automatically in your dashlets at the due date that it's due. So I hope that's been helpful. What I'll do next is I will do another little video on how to update an opportunity, to make sure that it appears in the right reports. And one of my personal favourites is doing quoting from the Sugar mobile app. So I'll cover that as well later on. But if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you. Bye.